What's up, agents, and welcome back to another Division video. Today we are going to talk about the NINJABIKE backpack that's been in the game now for a couple of weeks, and I just wanted to do a quick video on my thoughts. Is it best in slot? Is it not best in slot? Where is it useful and where is it not? Before we get started though, be sure to hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up and hit the bell so you are notified when I upload more Division videos. Even better, coming over to Twitch and hit follow. I could be streaming live right now, and if you need a community Discord, there has never been a better time to join. You'll find the link down below in the description. Let me know if you need any help with anything in the game. And with all that said, let's get started. So first of all, let's take a look at the piece in question. Here it is. Now let me take these Sawyer's knees off, and then we can equip it. There it is. So as you can see, if you don't already know, which you probably do, the NINJABIKE comes with 3 core attributes. It comes with a mod slot, and it comes with the talent resourceful. Slots in with any equipped gear set and or brand set item to fulfill a requirement towards unlocking a gear set bonus. Can unlock bonuses from multiple sets simultaneously. And I think there was a lot of hype around this because it was really good in Division 1, and I think people thought, oh yeah, this is going to be great for Division 2. And I think the reality of it, when it is landed here, it's not quite lived up to the expectations of all the agents who play the game. And we'll go over the main reasons why. So for instance, if I take a look at, let me just find my striker build, for instance. So with the striker backpack, not only do I get, you know, they get the same, you know, it's a brand set, right? You know, it's a gear set, sorry. So I only get 1 attribute. I get 1 mod slot. All right, that's fair enough. So I'm losing out on that attribute. Because if you look straight away, we don't get an attribute on here. Which will be pretty tough for them to do, because this is meant to be a universal piece. So what would they do? Would they put a red on it, a yellow, or a blue on it? That would be pretty tough. So first, that's the first thing you're losing out on. And then I'm losing out on this talent. And this talent gives me a lot of extra damage. And it's the same for anything really. If you looked at a vigilance backpack, now for instance here, you've got 2 attributes that you're losing out on and 25% damage for vigilance. I look at the force multiplier. Shooting an enemy increases skill damage by 30%. I'm losing out on that. And again, 2 attributes. And all of a sudden it starts to become a little bit rough. But then you think, well actually then, okay, so let's talk vigilance. Can I make 25% weapon damage up across other pieces? Well, you can't when it comes to gear sets, because you just don't have that functionality. When it comes to brand sets, then maybe, but then you take a look at the brand set bonuses and it starts to become a little bit awkward as well. Seska, commonly used in a DPS build, only adds hazard protection. Well, look at Providence, that adds critical hit chance. So you think, oh, maybe there's some possibility there. I can drop crit chance somewhere else and add crit damage. That's a possibility. But then you've got to get up to 25% worth. So that's only one that we would get there. So maybe 12% extra critical hit damage we could get in somewhere else instead of a crit chance mod. That's still not matching up. We'd have to do it somewhere else. We're getting reload speed from Fenris. Well, 20% reload speed is not that great. We look at Grupo, another one that's used for, you know, for red build, although this is a yellow one, because I used it for the explosive damage. We would get explosive damage instead of critical, you know, as well as critical hit damage. And all of a sudden you start thinking, I'm not quite making the mark. Now, Walker Harris is a great exception. We get 5% weapon damage and 5% damage to armor. But again, these values, although these ones are here are multiplicative, they don't quite add up enough to losing your backpack. You can get close, and there's some very good builds you can do with it. I'm sounding like I'm going down on it hard right now, and I'm not. You know, you can make some really good, you know, SMG builds shine, especially because Obliterate is really, really good. And you can use Obliterate on perhaps a Sokolov chest piece, and you get 10% SMG damage, and you get 15% critical hit damage. Well, that's a right, just off one piece, you've almost, you know, you've made up a good portion of a backpack talent straight away. So with other added talents and other added ones, SMGs really do, you know, are a very viable option when it comes to using the NINJABIKE. But everything else just kind of seems a little bit lackluster. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing to use it, because it's certainly not. Builds can be okay. but they don't outshine the major focused builds that we have. So for instance, like this striker build, nothing's going to outshine this damage wise. Perhaps if you used a glass cannon, but then obviously that has the caveat that you take a lot more incoming damage. But a NINJABIKE version isn't going to outshine it. And I think that's perhaps where the confusion and some of the negativity has come in. This is a, oh, I could make that build really quick and I don't have to worry about the backpack. I can just slap other pieces on and you can get 75% of the way there and get a very viable and usable build. At the moment, we are overpowered agents, especially when it comes to the quality of content that we have in the game and the expertise levels. So you put on the backpack, you can have a 75% version of the build and you can function and use it as if you had a 100% version of the build and not really suffer too much. For new players, it's great. They can put it on, they get all 3 core attributes and they can unlock extra bonuses as they play through the game and then grind more focused builds. But I think that's kind of where it is. For people like myself who have been playing the game for nearly 4,000 hours plus and have been here since the game was born, I think it's just not really got that factor that we wanted, where actually could we make ourselves better? Could we make more versatile builds? And yes, we can, but they're not as good as our focused builds. And I think that's the bit where everyone's been a little bit down on it a little bit. I still like it. I've been creating plenty of builds with it because, you know, I create content, so it's easy for me. I can create builds that'll help people who are new to the game, who are 6 months into the game, returning players to the game. So it's easy for me to be able to use it and think, you know, this build's actually all right. I can put this build on my YouTube and not be ashamed of it. So it's got definite functionality there, maybe just not for absolutely everybody. One thing I do think though that it could potentially be changed to make it that little bit better is obviously we have the memento, right? And the memento has an empty slot here. It doesn't have any minor attributes, but its talent is really, really good. And I think the NINJABIKE could benefit from having a talent very, very similar. If it had any kind of token drop rate, that would be really, really good to get these kind of things. Weapon damage, bonus armor, and skill efficiency. But then you start duplicating what the memento already is. And it would have to be a half-hearted version. You couldn't give these bonuses because then you would wipe out the memento. But maybe it could have something like, you know, I'll give you 15% extra weapon damage if you've got more red cores on your build than blue or yellow. Or I could give you so much extra armor if you've got, you know, I could give you 20% bonus armor if you've got more blues. I could give you 15% bonus skill efficiency if you've got more yellows. And if you've got the equal amount, you don't get anything. So that then you would have to think about the builds a little bit more and you couldn't just blindly drop them all in and get a load of bonuses. That's just one thing that I've thought about that might be a great idea. I don't know if they'll ever plan to change it. I think it's probably working as they want it to. It's not the best in slot, but it helps a lot of players along the way in the Division journey. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Are you running any builds with it? Do you think these builds are better than your super focused builds? Do you think I'm completely wrong? Let's have a good discussion about it. Let me know in the comments down below. I'm grinding towards 10k subs here on YouTube. So if you've not yet subscribed, please consider subscribing. I'm hoping to get to 10k before the end of the year. I really appreciate all the support for all the agents that have pressed subscribe recently. Welcome to the channel. Don't forget to come and check me out over on Twitch as well. Thank you for watching, agents, and I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye.